Women don't have a problem communicating as long as the problem is outside of her. You see what I'm saying? Like when we get to talking about communication, a lot of women are open as hell to it when you complaining to her about your homeboy who not doing right, or you complaining to her about your career that may not be going how you wanted to go. But when she's the issue, the communication don't be as back and forth. It don't be as open. It don't be like it should be. Now all of a sudden it's super defensiveness. Now all of a sudden you're not letting me finish sentences. Now all of a sudden it becomes a bunch of resistance.
Okay, so let's talk about it. The same way that you say that that as men y'all want women to create a safe space for y'all, sometimes you have to do that for us too. So just like y'all want us to cut up things in sizes that's digestible for y'all, maybe y'all can tell us things in ways that's digestible for us as well.
Now imagine
don't have
a woman literally listening to all that to prove that man right. As soon as he ain't even finished his statement, so as soon as he said not letting him finish sentences, she started talking. It's crazy to me when women get into these bags, man. What that brother was speaking on didn't have nothing to do with tone, didn't have nothing to do with chopping up information into bite-sized pieces so they can understand it. That's not what he was speaking on. Just the problem is communication is flowing good as long as you're not the issue. That ain't about bite-sized pieces, because when you're talking about somebody else, it doesn't matter how receptive or how can I put this, how digestible the information is when it's about other people. But it's hard for you to take a look at yourself. Let's go back through it.
Women don't have a problem communicating as long as the problem is outside of her. You see what I'm saying?
Let's get it out of the Bible. This is Proverbs chapter 15, verse 10. Correction is grievous unto him that forsaketh the way, and he that hateth reproof shall die. Now, what does that mean? It said correction is grievous unto him that forsaketh the way. Because if you, any type of in the Bible, you got to be okay with correction, because that's what's going to happen at all times. Whether it's other people speaking to you or you just reading on your own, correction is going to be happening, because you're going to be reading things that you're not living up to. It is what it is. You're going to be around somebody. They're going to be able to see things that's on you that you're not living up to. You're not living up to the standard. Let's read it again. Correction is grievous unto him that forsaketh the way, and he that hateth reproof shall die. Now that can go in a lot of different areas, because if you hate reproof, you're not going to make it. First and foremost, Christ said everybody that's breaking the law when he come back, they did. So if you don't like reproof, you're not going to fix the stuff that you need to fix. That's first and foremost, right? Now let's look at it from a social standpoint with your relationships, right? If you hate reproof, it's going to be hard for you to build strong relationships. So most of your relationships are going to die. It is what it is. If you can't take constructive criticism, your relationships, your bonds, they're going to die. It is what it is. Let's get some more. This is Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 11. My son, despise not the chastening of the Lord, neither be weary of his correction. Because especially in situations of relationships, right? Most people don't want to hear what they do wrong in relationships, right? But let's read it again. He said, my son, despise not the chastening of the Lord. 9 times out of 10, if it's something that you really feel is detrimental to you in a relationship, relationships are godly. Men and women are supposed to be together. So if it's something that you need to fix in a relationship, that's chastening of the Lord. It is what it is. It's something that you need to fix in your relationship. You need to fix it because strong marriages are biblical. Strong marriages are godly. It is what it is. That's what God wants to see. It said, neither be weary of his correction, because God is not going to correct you. God not going to come from the third heavens and come down and tell you, hey, you need to do this with your husband. You need to do that with your husband, right? He gave you the book. And if you in a relationship with a man, you married to a man, he is your person. And he's the person that's supposed to be correcting you. That's what he's in the leadership role for. That's what he's there for. So if you can't hear that chastening, you can't hear that correction from your husband, from your man, you probably not going to make it. And 9 times out of 10, we see this all the time in the Christian church. They will listen to the pastor before they listen to their husband. That's why. Y'all shouldn't be like that. That's evil. It's hell. Let's continue.
We get to talking about communication. A lot of women are open as hell to it when you complaining to her about your homeboy who not doing right, or you complaining to her about your career that may not be going how you wanted to go. But when she's the issue, the communication don't be as back and forth. It don't be as open. It don't be like it should be. Now all of a sudden it's super defensiveness. Now all of a sudden you're not letting me finish sentences.
Now, that boy Trill be going there, man. Let's get some more. And it's Psalms chapter 141 and verse 5. Let the righteous smite me, it shall be a kindness, and let him reprove me. It shall be an excellent oil, which shall not break my head. And I think this is one of the pieces that what Trill is going into, right? This is how you should be, right? It's not going to hurt you. The fact that I'm telling you about yourself, the fact that I'm telling you, because at the end of the day, correction is only setting boundaries. Hey, I'm not going to allow you to do this, this, and this in front of me. That's what it is. You setting a boundary. So me explaining something to you, your man explaining something to you, is not hurting you. It's not going to break you. Let's read it again. Let the righteous smite me, it shall be a kindness. And let him reprove me, and it shall be an excellent oil, which shall not break my head. For yet my prayer also shall be in their calamities. I don't know, man. It's weird because it's not only women that do this. It's some men that do this, but it's at a smaller rate. Because most dudes, they've been getting corrected and banged on their whole life. So somebody coming to them with some real respect, like, hey, bro, you know what I'm saying? You doing this wrong. Most dudes don't have a problem with that. Most time when dudes have a problem with it is when you kind of like degrading them in the process of correcting them. But 9 times out of 10, most dudes don't trip off. You just say, hey, bro, you doing this wrong. You need to fix it. But, you know, it is what it is. Let's get some more. Let me finish this.
Now all of a sudden it becomes a bunch of resistance.
Okay, so let's talk about it. The same way that you say that that as men, y'all want women to create a safe space for y'all, sometimes you have to do that for us too. So just
which is not what the brother was talking about.
Like y'all,
I want to stop it on her face right here because that's one of the main issues, right? Instead of y'all listening to what that man had to say, y'all cut him off, right? You cut him off because you didn't want to hear what he had to say at the end of the day. She is probably an example of exactly what Trill was talking about. Let's get it out the Bible. Watch this. This is Ecclesiastes, also called Sirach, chapter 11 and verse 7. Blame not before thou hast examined the truth. Understand first and then rebuke. So before the brother finished what he was talking about, you already dipping into something that ain't got nothing to do with what he's talking about. This not about tone. 9 times out of 10, if you in a successful relationship, y'all already know how to speak to each other. Y'all already know how to have effective communication where he's not belittling you. He's not speaking to you in a way where you don't understand what he's talking about. So all of that, what you're talking about is already out the window. We ain't talking about toxic situations. We're not talking about demeaning and degrading men. That's not what we're talking about. We're not talking about those men at this point in the conversation. The conversation is about women not having the same communication skills when the issue is them. Let's read it again. Blame not before thou hast examined the truth, because before you gave any thought to what he was talking about, you started to talk. Understand first, and then rebuke. So understand what the brother trying to get across first before you start speaking. Verse 8, answer not before thou hast heard the cause, neither interrupt men in the midst of their talk. Now, obviously, I understand this is a big issue in general when it comes to conversations, right? And a lot of people, they get into I see it a lot more now where if somebody starts speaking too early, they'll be like, my bad, bro, for cutting you off. I'm sorry, bro, for cutting you off. I didn't mean to cut you off, right? But that's showing a level of respect, because you might have thought that was finished and they kept talking, right? Let's read it again. Answer not before thou hast heard the cause, neither interrupt men in the midst of their talk. That brother wasn't finished with his statement, man. That's why I know you wasn't listening, because you started speaking in the midst of him talking. This is where my sociology come into play, right? It's called active listening. I learned that in sociology when I was in college. Active listening. One of the best ways, or one of the ways that you can prove that you was listening, is to summarize what the brother said before you start talking. So let's just say in this instance, right? To prove that she was actually listening, she could have said the trill. So are you saying that women lack communication skills when they are the problem? Then go into what you saying, right? Because if you trying to go against what he said, the very least you can do is actually have a point attacking his point, not a point going somewhere else away from his point. That's the very least you can do. Let's read it again. Verse 7. Blame not before thou hast examined the truth. Understand first and then rebuke. Answer not before thou hast heard the cause. Neither interrupt men in the midst of their talk. Because how can you get to the root of the problem if you're not gonna listen? How can you come up with solutions if you don't listen to the problem? 9 times out of 10, like Trey was about to say, when you start checking these women, they reverse it on you. It is what it is. That's a major issue. Relationships in general, humans in general. Watch this. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse 5. Examine yourselves, whether ye be in the faith. Prove your own selves. Know ye not your own selves? And that's one of my main issues with situations like this, because most women, you should know that already. Like Keita said, she said, I don't disagree with that. Keita understands. Keita know that, but I think a lot of women, they don't want to admit that. It's cool when you see women admit to bad behaviors, because the very first step to correcting anything is to acknowledge that you do it. It is what it is. Let's read it again. Examine yourselves, whether ye be in the faith. Prove your own selves. Know ye not your own selves, how that Jesus Christ is in you, except ye be reprobates. Reprobate mean without judgment. You can't judge matters. You don't have any discernment. No, as they say, intuition. You can't see when you're a problem. That's a problem. If you can't realize that you're a problem, or you a part of the problem, that's bad. That's bad for you. That's not a good look for nobody. It is what it is, man.
I want us to cut up things in sizes that's digestible for y'all. Maybe y'all can tell us things in ways that's digestible for us as well.
Man, I hope y'all don't deal with no woman like this. And I know she married, and I hope, bro, it's okay. Cause I see her do this a lot on this show. Even it's just from the little clips, you know what I'm saying? Whenever a man make a point that's kind of detrimental to women, she kind of jump into this bag, you know what I'm saying? You know, that's normal, you know what I'm saying? It's nothing that's like to single her out, because that's the typical thing that people do in these podcast spaces. It drives ratings. It's good for that, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna get the clicks and views, so I can't really talk too crazy about it. But we talking about in general, when you talk about male to female conversation, one-on-one conversations, stop that, please. Stop it. Stop pointing the fingers at everybody else, and at least internalize the question, internalize the statement, internalize what was given to you. Chew on that for a couple seconds before you respond. That's it. Chew on that before you respond, because outside of that, you're not gonna make much sense. Kind of like the sister did right here, because what she said didn't have nothing to do with what their brother said. It is what it is, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments, man. If you get cut off all the time, if you deal with this issue, man, put it in the comments, man. And how or what did you do in that situation to fix it? Because still, as a man, you still gotta fix it. You can't just let it linger and allow this sister to keep doing what she's doing. You still got to fix it. So, How do you fix it? It is what it is, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments, man. I'm out.